Uh-oh. Apologies for the weirdness there, but I believe that was my internet that messed up because my broadcast also stopped. Sorry about that. We are back, and I guess this will be the official stream. This is round 4 of eSGT's 4th season. We're at Blue Moon Bay, Infield A, and we've just had a couple of stuck checks. Our final stuck check, one driver was stuck there, Joao Oliveira, who you see actually entering the lobby right now. One Joao, and hopefully they don't get stuck for the actual race. I just got kicked off of broadcasting and out of the stream, so hopefully my internet will keep it together here so we have a good broadcast. This is the first stream that we've had all season long. Just between timing and technical difficulties, we're jumping in almost halfway through the season, but we should be good to go now. Coming in round 4. Got season standings here, just taking a look to see where everyone is sitting. And we've also got to set up our stream to look good and do the right things. So let's get that all set up while we wait here. Looks like our host, AMS Rush, who we are actually on board with now, has started the qualifier. It's a 10-minute qualifier. Hey, Octavio, how are you? Rush trying to get that Corvette to go. I'm gonna go ahead and stay with him for the first out lap. And then we'll actually go on board for his first flying lap. Right now he's just going to warm those tires up. This lap doesn't count for anything. It's your out lap because you start way past the start finish line when you come out of the pits. So this is a good opportunity to try to get a little heat into those tires. The races are done on racing softs as well, or sorry, the qualifying is on racing softs. The racing is actually on multiple compounds. Where is it this season? I'll have to check that out in a second. But we're coming to the end of this lap here, and Rush is going to have a whole lot of heat in those tires. It's a very short track, so this first lap will be a little cold still, but we're going to follow along as we come around that last bend, and you want to carry as much momentum through that as possible. Rush staying all the way on the outside, holding on all that speed. It's going to go down the front straight. This is the fastest part of the track, obviously. Let's see what the top speed is going to be here for Rush before coming to the brake zones. I'm seeing 165. Yeah, just barely touched 166. Hard on the brakes into the first corner, then you just balance that car through that very long left-hand turn. Be patient through it. You can dab the brakes here, or you can try to lift. Rush goes with a dab, brakes for this tricky right-hand turn here, and then on into the back straight. Coming into a little kink, and then he's going to be hard on the brakes right under the bridge for this hairpin here. You want to be patient through this hairpin and keep it tight. Definitely want to be patient coming out, especially in the Corvette. Good job. Only a little bit squirrely on the outside. Ooh, a bit wide in the second hairpin here. It's more like a double turn, but not too bad. Tires are cold. We'll forgive him. And a lift into that last corner, and again back into the high banks to start the lap all over again. That's a lap around Blue Moon Bay, Infield A. Let's see who else is in this race. Rush is going to set a time of 106.6. Diano right behind takes that from him in the 106.1 in that, is that the Hyundai? I believe that's the Hyundai. Yes, it is the Hyundai. Bad Guy Cali coming in third in the Corvette, racing for ERS. Oh, more times coming in, but anyway, we're just going to go through everyone to see what people's cars are looking like, and then we'll come back and see everyone who we missed. Manny Havitz, Havitz? I don't know how to say that. Manny Havitz. Our Mexican driver in the Fiat. Is that a Fiat? I can't tell from here. No, it's not. Yes, it is. That is Manny. Racing for GTMX. One Bittits, our first M6, I think. No, that's a lie. And actually, it was another one driver who used to drive the M6. Is he still in this season? I'll have to check it out and see. Chompy coming through in the Aston Martin. Rush's time down to 10th place. We've already talked about Rush. Let's go to Thanatos, also in a Corvette in that awesome Mexican flag livery. Loving that, is it a phoenix? I don't know what that bird is. It's beautiful. And who do we miss? We miss Sokane, also in the M6. Coming in 12th place. We're going to cross the finish line. Let's see what time they post. Moves up 2 spots into 10th there. And we've already talked about Manny Havitz. We've already talked about Chompy. Whose livery haven't we seen? We haven't seen Thunder. Thunder also in an M6. 3 M6s so far in the lineup. It's more than I've seen before. Racing for VQS. Holding it down in 2nd place. Not too far off from Rush, actually, with a 128.4. And then we've got Robert in the always beautiful Jaguar F-Type. Robert crosses the finish line and takes first place with a 105.7. That's the time to beat. 105.7. We're about halfway through quali, so still plenty of time here. In fact, some of these drivers are just now getting some heat into their tires, so we should start to see this pace get pushed even further. Rush posts up an actual time, 105.8, 2nd place, but that is 3.5 tenths down on their 4th lap, so we're back on another fast lap here. Sokane just popped up another time, but is pushed down to 11th place regardless, so Sokane's going to have to try to find some pace somewhere here. It would not shock me. It has happened before. I've seen someone come in from last place and on the very last lap post the first quali time. Was it last season? Might have been season before. I feel like it was last season. In any case, taking a look, I just want to see who should be in this Division 1 lobby and see who's missing. In D1, we should have Robert, who's here. Diano, I think I saw Dino. Did I? I did, sitting in 6th place there. Rush we've seen, Thunder we've seen, Joao Oliveira is here, Thanatos is here, Chompy's here. Don't see Billix, GTMX racer, teammate of Thanatos, and what was the other one? Manny Havitz. Not in here. Bad Guy Cali's here. Diogo Typer, I believe I saw Diogo. Yes, Diogo up to 4th place, racing for UFT. We actually didn't look at his livery, but he's rocking pretty much the same livery as last year, that UFT Porsche. A good time for Diogo Typer. I said last year, I meant last season. These seasons are not 1 year long. Cremedix, where are you, Cremedix? You're not here either. Sokane we've seen, Gooey we've seen, Bittits we've seen. So We are just missing a few drivers here, and as you can see, it's a pretty full lobby. 12 of 15 potential spots taken up in this lobby here. Rush has just eked out a first place time here so far in their lap before last with a 105.781, which is 0.001 faster than Robert. Let's see if Robert can do anything about that. Robert's coming to an end of a lap here. It's tight in that hairpin, and then into that double apex left-hander. You can apex it twice, or you can do what he did here and stay wide and apex that last one. It's my preferred line through there as well. Gonna lift, stay tight to the wall on the left, tight to the wall on the right. And Robert actually cuts inside for the last corner to really slingshot that car around. And let's see where he crosses the line in the Jaguar. Not faster, does not take first place back, but very close. Robert's time is looking very consistent. 105.7s, several 105.9s, and that last one was a 105.8. So Rush able to get that 105.7. Wouldn't call it consistent yet though. We got a minute 53 left. That's plenty of time for some people to get another couple of laps in here, given that the lap is just over a minute long. Bad Guy Cali sets a faster time for themselves, goes up to 10th. SoCane up to 9th with their time. Who we got in the top 5 here? Rush, Robert, Thunder, Diogo Typer, and Gooey in the Lexus. Hey Roy, vamos GTMX. We only have 2 GTMX drivers in, Thanatos and Many Habits. Many Habits gonna have to try to find some pace. That 4C, the Alfa Romeo, may be the lightest car in the field, and so it may take it a little bit longer to get up to pace, but you know, I just realized there's no tire wear in the qualifying, so getting heat into the tires has not been an issue. So that's not an excuse. Well, you hate to see it. Wesh still hanging on to that first place. Robert should be towards the end of a lap here. Getting there. Let's see if Robert's able to do something. Biddiges goes a little bit faster, drops a 106.2. They're in 8th place. I don't think they've come up a position off of that. They're just there. Robert crossed the line. Robert crossing over that last, getting to that last corner now, actually. Is it a good lap, Robert? Are you going to get back into first place and get that inside, that crucial inside for turn 1 at the start of this race? Oh, it's not a... No, Robert doesn't go faster. That was actually a bad lap. Robert 1.8 seconds slower on that lap, and that's the end of qualifying. Don't think Robert's going to get another lap. Who is still on a lap here? Thunder still on a lap. Chompy up ahead of Thunder, still on a lap. Let's see what Thunder does here. Thunder's sitting up in 3rd place. I'm sure they'd like to... Ooh, a bit of a mess up through the second to last corner, but they're purple by a 10th in that sector. So let's see. You never know. It might not have been too bad of a... It was just a little bit squirrely in the rear end. I'm sure they want to be on that front row. Thunder getting a little bit of a toe there. Not bad. Oh, doesn't get it. Thunder did go faster for themselves, 105.8, but still only good for 3rd place, and that's going to end the qualifying in our... Let me see if I can read all this. I cannot read all that fast enough. So that is qualifying, everyone. I hope you liked it. Go UFT. Go 4 Racing. Go everybody. So here we are, Flash and audience. We have AMS Rush, VSR Robert, VQS Thunder, UFT Diogo Typer, Gooey in the top 5, and VLX Diano just behind him in 6th, Thanatos in 7th, 1 Bidditis in 8th, and we'll go down the line further. But for now, let's watch how this first turn goes. It's a rolling start. And sometime around the start-finish line, they'll get the green flag and go full throttle, all the V8s right up front there. This is a good track for the V8 cars. VQS Thunder, of course, in the twin-turbo V8. AMS in the Corvette, or Rush in the Corvette, Robert in the Jaguar, both naturally aspirated, but no slouches at all. And they get through turns 1 and 2 very cleanly, and the order stays the same. It looks like everyone got through very cleanly. Loving it. Hard onto these brakes. See if we can't get all the race info. We should be seeing all of it. There we go. This is the beauty of being able to race digitally, is that you get to see everything about the car if you want to. Since nobody's told me not to show the info, I'm showing the info. So far, no changes in position, not surprising. It's a very fast track. Staying in the slipstream and staying with the pack in these opening rounds, these opening laps, is way more important than trying to fight for positions and slowing yourselves down. Somebody, you want to stay in that train, you want to stay right in that tow and get the positions as they come. Pardon me, apologies, I was getting a phone call. I'm going to put everything on Do Not Disturb. So far, everyone behaving. No one's really had a look yet. Rush and Robert are starting to create a bit of a gap to Thunder here. Thunder a second, 1.2 seconds behind Robert. Thunder is outside of that slipstream, and it's getting bigger. It's 1.4 seconds now in the back straight. This is exactly what I meant. This is the last thing you want. You don't want to lose the tow. Robert, or Thunder, lost 4/10 there, 5/10 I believe actually, just in the front straight, not being in Robert and Rush's tow. Robert gets a pass on Rush. I missed it. Sorry about that. Gets out in front of him, probably in turn 1 there. Corvette. Thunder a little bit closer, back to 1 second in there. Oh, that's a beautiful view. That's a great camera angle. Now Rush is on the back foot. Thunder able to keep Diogo Typer at bay. See what's going on with the mid-pack. So far, not too much separation between everyone. Aside from Thunder possibly still being out of that slipstream from the first 2 drivers. But other than that, everyone is in the tow. Everyone waiting for their opportunity to get a position here. Maybe doing a little tire saving. Rush! Oh, is that around the outside? See if we can't go back and see it. Not the beginning. I don't want the beginning. That's not what that button's supposed to do. Okay, I guess all of my replay buttons are going to the beginning, so we may not have replays today. Ricardo, that's okay. I was wondering who 4 Racing was. We're going to stay up with this top 3 here. AMS, Rush, and VSR Robert having a battle, and it's allowed 3rd and 4th place to catch right back up to them. And this is what I meant. You know, that back and forth right now, it's not that important to be trying to fight for positions. They had a 1.5 second gap to 3rd place, and they lost it doing all that fighting. And that's the last thing you want. But I'm nobody's driving coach. Robert round the outside in turn 1 on Rush is going to stay right there on the inside. Nope, has to tuck in behind to keep Thunder from getting second place. A good move there by Rush. You could try to get back to Robert. But right now, it's more important to go ahead and defend that second place. And our top three are right back together. Thunder probably really happy to be back in this thing. Meanwhile, Diogo's going to have to try to fight and see if they can get in there. I want to go see what's going on with the mid-pack, but this is looking too close. Thunder, a little bit of a hip check on Rush there, it looked like. Can't say for sure, but... Yep, there we go. Now that's working right. A little bit of a touch. It looked like it could have been a little lag spike as well. Hard to really tell. But either way, Rush is through for second place right there. And we'll get back to them ending at the end of the front straight here. Rush catching up to Thunder easily in the slipstream. That Corvette really, really fast in a straight line. And I think the M6 carries a little bit more downforce. This is a no tuning series, and if I'm not mistaken, on the stock tune in BOP, I think the M6 carries a bit more downforce than the Corvette, which means its top speed, it's going to have a bit more drag, basically, in these really long straights. And we saw the Vet really take advantage of that by the end of that. Oh, Thunder in the grass a little bit there. What was that, friend? How did that happen? I wonder if we can get another angle on it. No, unable to change my camera angle, so not able to see what happened there. Yeah, I'm not able to change cameras. Thunder down to fourth place, has lost position to Diogo there from that moment in the grass. I'm gonna have to exit spectator mode for a second, and now, yes, now we can get different camera angles. Perfect. Rush 1.2 seconds behind Robert. Have to try to catch up there. Hopefully they've got a friend in Diogo who will help them catch first place and not an enemy who will battle them, but we'll see. Pulling up some info here. Robert's lead up to 1.2 seconds. Deano leads the mid-pack here. Fourth place in that Hyundai Genesis. Thunder way back there in fifth place has lost yet another position. Not looking good for Thunder. Just a bad couple of laps there. But maybe they can get back up to the top, but they're going to have to get past Deano and overcome a 1.7 second gap to Diogo in third once they've gotten past. We're 7 laps in though, lots of racing to do. Thunder could just sit there and save fuel and catch back up to the top in the pits. We'll see. I have not been able to commentate on these races or watch them, so I'm not sure what fuel strats have been looking like in this season and for this season's regulations. So this will be my first time seeing this stuff, and I'm very excited to see how people get through the race. Two of our M6s together here in 7th and 8th place, not able to create the pace that Thunder is able to create in his M6. But not too far behind either. Just behind Sokane, you've got Bad Guy Cali and a vet just trying to catch back up, rounding out the top 10. At the very back, Chompy and Manny Habits. Manny Habits 5 seconds off of Chompy, 15 seconds off of first place. It's going to be interesting to see how the Fiat gets through here. Meanwhile, Robert's lead over Rush staying kind of steady. It was 1.2 seconds last time we checked. It's down to 1 second now. And it doesn't look like Rush is closing the gap. Well, actually, Rush is closing the gap towards the end of that front straight. Once again, that Corvette showing it's got really, really long legs. Diogo just hanging on there, opting not to fight Rush, staying right there in the toe. Great strategy. Diogo has been in someone's slipstream since the start of the race. We are 9 laps in, and Diogo has probably done nothing but sit there and save fuel. We'll see how that works out for them. Meanwhile, Deano has mirrors full of Thunder. Thunder is right there and trying to get past that Hyundai, because I know Thunder can see first through third right there in his sights and really wants to get up there. But actually, Deano's gap to Diogo is still 1.7 seconds. So it doesn't look like Deano's making them go any slower. The last time we checked, it was 1.7 seconds. So all Thunder has to do is get past, though I'm sure that getting past fast is the name of the game. And it looks like he's got a good toe here. Gonna opt to bump draft instead. Deano is saving fuel. Gonna bump draft Thunder saving fuel. Gonna bump draft Deano into the first corner just to stay back there and keep that toe from the Hyundai. And I get it, maybe giving the Hyundai a little bit of a boost to try to catch up the first through third there. It'll be fun to see what happens there. Now give me a second. I think I just saw something weird. Okay, I see what happened. We'll keep an eye on this, see what happens. It doesn't look like Thunder's looking to make a move anytime soon. Just staying right there up under Deano's wing. Meanwhile, Gui and Thanatos looking to be much in the same position. Gui in the Lexus just behind Thanatos. Thunder and Deano round in that final corner. Let's see what Thunder does here. Thunder's not going to get as much of a slipstream. Thunder is right up behind Deano. He's going to push. More bump drafting, not trying to pass, and the gap to Diogo is now 1.2 seconds. This is working together as drivers, people. They have gained 5/10 on that the podium spots, and now Thunder goes inside Deano and easily takes the position for fourth place. I think Thunder feeling like, okay, I'm close enough now. I can get him on my own. Thanks for the help. Thanks for the toe, Deano, but I'm out of here. Thanatos and Gui still racing together. Oh, we got our two M6s side by side going into the hairpin. Bittitits on the inside. Sokane tucks in right behind. Not gonna fight. Just gonna go ahead and let you keep that right there. Don't blame you one bit. One of the worst feelings in the world is ruining a race in the early stages. And so I have to admit, I'm one of the people who is probably overly cautious when racing an endurance race in the very beginning. I don't really go for positions. I just try to stay in someone's toe and try to stay alive and try to fight in the middle and ending stages. But not everyone's like that. As we saw, Robert went for it very, very early on Rush. And after that first back and forth in the opening laps, honestly, the only thing Rush is seeing is the back of Robert's car. I think this is the first time I'm seeing Rush even be close enough to get a toe out of Robert. So it'll be interesting to see what Rush does here, because that Corvette is faster than the Jaguar by the end of the straight, it looks like. And right now, Rush is squarely in, or pretty close to being in the slipstream. If I'm not mistaken, slipstream distance has gone down to about 8/10 in this game. If you have the setting to real, forgive me for not knowing for sure. If somebody knows for sure, let me know. But I think Rush is close enough to it and should get closer by the end of this straight. It's almost 9/10 is the difference here. They're gonna cross the line. We're gonna get an adjustment to the time, and yeah, he gets perceptively closer there, brings it down a 10th, more than a 10th now, and is probably going to do it again for the next lap. Good job, Rush, to get closer. Diogo now back in the battle with Thunder. Diogo started this race behind Thunder and was just chilling back there. Thunder is caught up and looking to get past, trying to get back to that fight for top 3, maybe even the very top spot. Good job coming back from that mess up about 4 or 5 laps ago for Thunder. And keep an eye on this. Let's go back to the mid-pack, see what's going on here. Thanatos and Gui still cooperating, still chilling, still leading the mid-pack. It used to be Dino leading, but Dino has fought his way up to the top 5, they're all pretty close together. I mean, Diogo, ooh, I lied. Diogo's 2 seconds behind Rush. So they're their own pack. 3rd through 5th. They're their own pack. Rush and Robert, still tight. Still chilling. Hopefully this time they don't get to battle and they can increase that lead even more. Let's get back to what I was saying about the mid-pack. We're doing great, guys. I'm trying to do my best commentating. My first time back in a couple months. Since last season. Bad Guy Cali racing all alone in 10th place. Not really where you want to be. I mean, this track is just so great for, you know, saving fuel and just being in somebody's slipstream and just hanging on and making passes in the pits. It's a great track for passing on the actual track as well. Don't get me wrong. It's a really fun track to race closely at, but if you find yourself by yourself, not racing closely with anyone in a fuel race, a race that has fuel use and it's an endurance, it's not where you want to be. Robert still hanging on to first. Starting to see a little bit of tire wear here. More than a little bit, but it's not bad yet. These tires still have a lot of life in them. Fuel tanks are getting a little bit low there. So probably got a little while yet before we start seeing pits. I'm going to estimate about 10 laps before we start seeing people pit. Robert going purple just there in that sector. So the cars are possibly still getting faster. In fact, Dano just posted their fastest lap here, lap 14. If you look on the right there, it's a 106.3. So the cars are getting faster, they're getting lighter as they use up more fuel. We'll start to see that equalize as the tire wear catches up. Thunder leads this pack now. Must have gotten around Diogo, and I'm not sure if that's what caused Diogo to also lose the position to Dano, but Diogo now at the back of that pack, and Thunder leading it again, trying to catch back up to the first two. That gap is 2.5 seconds. Keep an eye on it before the pit stops coming up in about 10 laps. A little bit of work being done here by Sokane. Not Sokane, I'm sorry. Thanatos. Thanatos in the M6 jumps a huge amount of cars, actually. Now that I think about it, we need to go back and see how this all got started. He was already leading, actually, so I guess there's nothing to see. We'll go back to the live thing. Hey, Arturo, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanatos fan forever. Well, Thanatos seems to be doing pretty good, leading their own pack here. And the M6, Sokane seems to have lost the pack a little bit, not too far out, but he's gonna want to put a little boost in that to get back up to these guys here. Manny Havit's further back, 7-second gap to Chompy in not last. Robert and Rush, just a little bit closer for Rush. I think Rush is opting to stay in that slipstream and just not fight. Robert, again, going purple in that first sector. Hasn't pulled out a fastest lap again. Hasn't beat their lap of 106.2, which they said a while ago. But getting quicker in that first sector. It's interesting. Don't know if that's a top speed thing or if that's a better braking and cornering thing. Why does it matter? Is it me or is it Thunder a little closer? No, Thunder's a little further. 2.6 seconds. Last time we checked it was 2.5. 2.7. Alright, Thunder, don't lose it. Rush, much closer to Robert now. Half-second gap. If I'm Robert, I stay right there and I make my pass in the pits. Lots of people pitting now. I thought we would get 10 laps, but no, the mid-pack is all pitting. Sokane in, Thanatos in, Biditus, Thunder in, actually. Chompy, Diogo, all in. Robert and Rush stayed out. Everyone else pitted around, pitted at lap 18. Make a note of that, y'all. I don't have a commentary partner to note these things. That's your job, audience. You note it. I don't even have a pencil. So let's see if the orders changed any. Gooey stayed out, so Gooey inherits third place, but we know Gooey owes a pit. Bad Guy Cali also owes a pit, inherited fourth place. Dino, however, came out ahead of Thunder. Makes sense. Dino was able to save a bit of fuel, came out a bit quicker there. Thunder's gonna have to fight to get back up front. Thunder looks like also filled up a little bit more. Diogo Type are still behind those two, but behind by a lot. 2.1 seconds. Looks like Diogo also fueled up a bit more as well, so we'll probably be able to stay out longer. Bad Guy Cali is now in, the only one in. Thanatos still behind Diogo. Biditis back behind there. That's Cali in the pits here. Chompy up to 9th place. Chompy gonna beat Cali out of the pits? Let's see. No. Bad Guy comes out ahead of Chompy. Chompy stays in 10th place, doesn't gain a position. SoCane down to 11th place. SoCane filled up all the way though. Maybe they're going for longer stints. Manny Havits still in last place. Still a 6.5 second gap. What are our first two gonna do here? Still not pitting. Don't really need to just yet. Robert in. Rush stays out. Rush gonna try to get a fast lap here, maybe make that jump. Let's stay on board with him and see if he comes out of this lap ahead of Robert or behind Robert. So what'll happen is Rush will probably pit this lap. We'll see. They still got a lot of fuel on board, but we'll see. Probably pit this lap. And then when they come out of the pits, Robert should be passing by. We'll see if Rush is able to get out of the pit before Robert gets there, or if they end up right behind the Jaguar driver. And then we get to do this again for another stint. Let's see. Alright, Rush to the last corner. Rush, you diving in or you staying out? Rush is going in. Looks like, because Rush takes this corner on the outside from what I know. Yep. Rush into the pits. Where's Robert? Robert coming to the last turn here. Robert coming to the last turn. Rush still in the pits. Fueling, fueling, fueling. It feels like forever. It feels like forever. Gooey's into the pits, by the way. Robert, almost to the start-finish line. Rush is on the move, it looks like. And Rush, where does Rush come out? Rush comes out ahead of Robert. Rush comes out ahead of Robert, behind Thunder and Dino, though, which is interesting to say the least. But there's Robert in 4th place. Now, remember, even with Rush being behind Thunder and Diano, Thunder and Diano pitted 2 laps earlier. So they'll probably need to pit 2 laps earlier again. But are they going to slow Rush down? I believe Diano's pace may not be up to Rush's pace. May not be up to that. And this may give Thunder an opportunity to get away here because Thunder's about on pace with Rush, but we'll see if Rush gets stuck or if he's able to get around the Hyundai here. Robert kind of out of the party, 2 seconds back. He's gonna have some making up to do. But let's see what Rush does here. Does Rush go inside? Rush is gonna go inside and gets right up to Thunder as well in the M6. So I don't think Thunder's even really going to be an issue for Rush come this next lap in that back straight or in that front straight. But let's take a look and see. But we have a somewhat new top 3 here. Rush getting that long slipstream, goes purple by 0.2 in the first sector. Not bad, but has the bumper of another car right in front, so not sure if that purple streak is going to continue for the rest of the lap. But I think Rush is going to have no problem getting ahead of Thunder here by the end of turn 1. Still purple in the second sector. Rush may also take fastest lap here, may take first place and the fastest lap. Robert, where are you? 2.2 seconds back. Diogo on Robert's coattails. I think that's where I'd want to be. I'd want to be on the person who set pole position's coattails for the race. And the move by Rush going inside of Thunder. Thunder does not try to defend. Oh, a little bumpy there. Rush doesn't get the position. Let's go further back than that even. Thunder a little squirrely. I think tapped Rush there. Yeah, you see Rush back in the mirror here. That braking zone is a little bit tough. It's very bumpy, and it's hard to explain. I'll have to show you when we get back there. Thunder's still up front. In fact, Thunder coming around the last bend again. So I'll show you what I mean right here when they get to the first turn. Rush not too far behind, though. Probably gonna go for a move again here. So let's go on board with Rush actually while we do this. Oh yeah, as soon as they really get in the speed. Nope, gonna bump draft instead. Try to keep away from Deano. I see Deano's going off the inside of Rush. Rush had to go for the bump draft, but Deano makes the move, makes it stick. I didn't even realize that we had a potential fight for the first corner going there. And Dino's in the second. Nice job. Didn't even see that happening. Meanwhile, Robert a little bit closer to this first through third fight here. Rush losing out on that. Of course, Rush was obviously trying to hurry up and get up into first place and get away from the looming threat of Robert. But Thunder not only able to hold off Rush, but Deano able to get in there and also ruin those plans. They are trying to hold on to first and second place, and I don't blame them. Rush dipping inside to stay in their slipstream for the entire straight. He's gonna get another opportunity here. Probably get a little bit closer. I don't know if they'll have an opportunity to get in and dive, but can't underestimate that Corvette speed. Yep, nope, not gonna go inside and dive. You see all three cars hitting that bump right there in the middle of turn one when you get off the high banks and into the infield, and it just jars the car, shakes it all up. It's very scary going sideways there, going side by side with someone there, because it's easy to get sideways. Dino has to go out far into the grass. They got a little squirrely going to that corner, and that's given Rush an opportunity for the inside here for the hairpin, and even I think Rush actually got ahead before they even got into the braking zone for the hairpin. So Rush back in second. Gonna have to hold Deano off though. Deano showed right there in that last the lap before last when they took second place. Hey, it's not a fight between you and Thunder, it's a fight between you, me, and Thunder. I'm still in this. Thunder meanwhile hoping they continue to fight so they can continue to grow that gap. It's almost up to a second here, but Rush is going to take a whole chunk out of it in this first straight. It just is what it is. The M6 will never beat the Corvette in a straight line in the current BOP. But Thunder stays alive. Doesn't even have to fight Rush for it. Gets another chance in the infield section to maybe get away from that Corvette. The M6 is a little bit more limber than the Corvette, and if you know how to drive it, you should be able to beat them through the turns here. It's just there's not much of the infield. A lot of this lap, it just is what it is a straight line lap. It's all top speed, and that's not this. It's not the M6's strong suit. And as you can see, we're here at the end of the lap, and Thunder doesn't increase that gap too much. It just remains where it was, pretty much. In fact, it's a little bit smaller. It was fully 8 tenths by the time they got here in the last lap, and now it's 7.5 tenths. So Rush, they continue this pace, just gonna keep on eating out of Thunder until they're right back up there. Rush goes fastest lap, 106.2. That's what it was looking like. Did purple first and second sectors. Doesn't surprise me that the third is quick too. Robert, meanwhile, still not catching up. 2 seconds is the gap. Diogo has fallen off of Robert's pace here. Benitez still leading the mid-pack in the M6. with Thanatos just behind, and these two are racing all alone because a huge 5.8 seconds back is Gooey. We have had, of course, you know, pits kind of rattle the order around here. We saw a few different fuel strategies, a couple of different pit windows or pit times, but we also saw some people take more fuel than others. So it won't surprise me if the pit strat is a bit more varied the second time around. Probably see a lot fewer people pit at the same exact lap. We'll see. Thunder, Rush. It's now a negligible gap between these two, but Rush probably not going to make the same mistake to try to make that position there too early. Rush going to stay right there. And I guess what Rush needs to do is make sure that they're already on the inside for that last, for that first turn before Deano can try to take the dive. And they should be in a decent position to do it now because they won't need the slipstream as much. The last time they were staying in Thunder slip because they were too far away to really make the move without the slip. Now they're close enough to make that move. And if they can get inside and defend against Deano trying to get in there, should be okay. That Genesis is really, really agile. So let's see what happens here. We're gonna go on board with Deano. See Rush right there. Is Rush gonna bump Draft Thunder or Rush going inside? Thunder not defending at all. Rush doesn't look like he's making a move anyway. Oh, here we are. And nothing too exciting to report. I'm making that whelp face right now. You just can't see it. Ooh, SoCane. Deep dive on the inside for turn one on, excuse me, on Gooey, and makes it stick. Good job, SoCane, to get that pass right there. That was nice. I like that. Oh, come on. Go back further. This never works the way I want it to. What happened? SoCane, here we are. Turn two. It's looking good and something messes up here. What happened here? Oh, out into the grass. SoCane just went wide, understeered into the grass. Oh, hits bad guy Callie and spins. Oh, you hate to see it after that brilliant dive into turn one to get the position on both of them. Rush, up front. Can we see the pass? Nope, the pass was already made by the time they got to turn one. Okay. It looks like my replay controls are working good now. I think after I exited the spectator mode and came back in, it started working. But anyway, Rush back up where they wanted to be. Not as easily as they probably thought it was gonna be, though. You know, we thought that maybe Rush would get up front and start putting miles between themselves and Robert, and they haven't really. Robert's still 2 seconds behind Deano, so that pace between Robert and Rush has stayed the same. The difference is Rush has had to fight and claw for every inch of what they've got. Robert's been racing all alone and chilling. In any case, let's go back to the mid-pack, see what's going on with these guys. Thanatos racing alone now because Gooey's back here with Bad Guy Callie. Bad Guy Callie got hit by SoCane, if you recall, but I don't think it really messed them up. They were not too far from Bad Guy Callie to begin with. So very lucky there for... Sorry, Bad Guy Callie got hit by... I'm trying to remember things. Got hit by SoCane, and they're still up with Gooey, so it doesn't look like it messed them up too bad. So very lucky for Bad Guy there. Really unlucky for SoCane, who's now back behind Chompy in 11th place. 3.2 second gap. They've got a lot to make up. We're over halfway through this race. 31 of 53 laps down. 22 laps left to go. Many have it hasn't really been much to say about Manny Habits in the Fiat. It's in the Alfa Romeo rather. They've just been racing alone. Started last, it's continued in last place. But we've seen strange things happen, so don't count them out just yet. The gap has never gotten bigger than 7.7 seconds. I think this is the biggest gap I've seen for them. And a lot can happen with a little Alfa Romeo going at full tilt in 7.7 seconds. Gotta commend them though. This isn't the track for them at all. This is definitely a straight line speed track. And if you've got that, you've got to tell, if you're a hell of a driver like Deanna, who's in the Hyundai, you're probably not going to find yourself too far up the order. Not in a field like this. Got a lot of talented drivers in this field. This is, of course, Division 1 of a global series. And so you got a pretty high caliber of driver here. So, you know, the tool you take does also matter, right? The tool you bring. Dano and Thunder are still here, working together. Rush a little bit out ahead of them, got a little bit of a gap to them. You can see if that gap increases. This is what Rush wanted after that that pit window a while ago now. That was lap 20. I believe that Rush pitted and ended up behind these two. In fact, these two pitted 2 laps ahead of Rush, so they're going to be coming due for something pretty soon here. Robert, meanwhile, 2.5 seconds back. It was less than 2 seconds when we last checked, so Robert must have had a moment. And trying to see what's going to happen with this Jaguar who started this race on pole. They going to be able to make something happen in the pits or on track? Doesn't seem to be short shifting any, so doesn't look like he's really saving fuel. Short shifting a little bit there, short shifting into 6, so I could be wrong. Maybe we've just seen a couple of longer ones since we were on the back straight. Let's see how Robert's driving the Jag in the infield. Even nice tight lines, really got that thing moving, but doesn't look like he is short shifting very much at all, which is interesting because you can, that Jag is actually fastest if you shift it just after the gear indicator there. It's got a very flat torque curve that drops off before it hits the shift indicator. Deano's out of fuel, gonna have to pit right now. Who else is pitting? Probably Thunder with them. No, Deano's staying out. Is that enough to go another lap? Maybe. It's a very short lap around here. Very short lap. Thunder's in the same boat, so yeah, I would say that both drivers didn't miss their fuel. So they're probably able to stay out another lap on what they've got here. So they're going to pit in. Rush is going to keep on going. Rush pits a little bit later than them. Robert has got about twice the amount of fuel that Rush has. Now, they're both sitting at less than a quarter tank, so it's not a lot of fuel. But it's enough of a difference that Robert may get up closer to Rush again after this pit stop, if not even past Rush. I don't think it'll be a pass, but maybe get closer when they pit. They pitted on the same lap. Or sorry, they pitted on different laps. So we'll see. Robert pitted first last time. See if Robert pits first again, or if Robert stays out because they've got a bit more fuel. Rush, unfortunately, had to use up a bunch of that. Thunder dipping in along with Deano, which lets Rush go all alone. Thunder and Deano pitted on the same lap as a lot of other drivers, so let's see who else is jumping in here. Benitez is going to jump in. And we should start to see a lot of the mid-pack follow suit. A lot of these drivers pitted on the same lap last time. Gooey's going to go past. Did I see Bad Guy Cali go past too? Bad Guy Cali goes past. Thanatos jumps in. So yeah, fewer drivers pitting on the same lap this time around, just as predicted. We saw a lot of drivers take a different amount of fuel, plus we've had some people have accidents on the track, and we've had people who didn't have a slipstream before have someone that can slipstream off now. So fuel strat, pit order, a bit scrambled. It's what is to be expected. Robert, 3.9 seconds behind Rush here. Rush jumps into the pits there. So remember, Rush jumped in 3.9 seconds ahead of Robert. Rush is going to have to pit and may come out behind Robert, but then Robert will have to pit at some point too. So what we're really looking for is to see what happens after Robert comes out of their pit stop. What's up, Jorge? Diogo in. Diano and Thunder still working together here. We saw Diano just give Thunder a little bit of a bump draft, a bit close to the braking zone for my comfort, but I'm not as good a driver as Thunder. Obviously, it didn't really hurt him very much at all. So now Rush came out behind Robert. 14.7 seconds is the gap. So when Robert pits, Robert's got to pit faster than that. You know, and we don't know when he'll pit. It may not be this lap, so Rush has a little bit of time to make that gap even smaller and rush Robert a bit. But if I'm Robert, I go ahead and take that pit now. I'm not getting any faster. Nope, Robert's going to stay out. The tires don't look too bad, so I'm guessing he feels like I can still get a fast lap on this light load of fuel. Ooh, I'm excited. I love pit strat and watching people make passes in the pit, so I want to see what happens with Robert and Rush. At best, actually, at the best case scenario is that Robert comes out right next to Rush, or in front of. No, Robert, what is this? You messing it up. You messing it up. This is not what we asked for. Oh, and dirty tires into the hairpin. Gonna have to brake a little bit earlier. Gonna have to get on the throttle a little bit later. This is slower. This is not what we want to see. But all right, let's see what happens. Best case scenario is that Robert comes out right in front of or right behind Rush, and we get even more battling going into the final stint of this race. We've also got Thunder and Diano are right there with Rush. Let's see. Robert's in. Rush is coming around the final bend. I don't think Robert's going to be able to get out quick enough. I don't think it's going to happen. It's the last pit stop of the race. It's going to have to take fuel to the end of the race. And yeah, these guys are passing now. Robert's just now getting out of the pits. It's not going to be anywhere near this battle. So we're not going to get the fight I wanted. I mean, I guess. The gap is even bigger now, most likely because of the issues that Robert had in this middle sector of the in-lap, and I think that's all on that. We saw the pace in that last stint. Robert wasn't getting any closer to these three. I think this is the battle. AMS Rush, VQS Thunder, and VLX Dino. You never know, though. We still have a lot of racing to go. Still 14 laps to go. Anything could happen up front and put Robert right back in this thing. But it wasn't pit stops. Mid-pack Gooey still holding strong in 5th place. Diogo Typer in 6th. Diogo also started this lap and has stayed pretty far up in the mid-pack the entire time. In fact, was keeping up with the leading pack for quite a while in the first and even part of the second stint there. Diego going up in front of teammate Gooey right there. Most likely team orders. Diego does have the faster pace, and these two are going to race together hopefully and work together to get something done here. Maybe they can move up closer to Robert, possibly take 4th place, 3.5 seconds back. But UFT doing their thing. Benitez racing alone in 7th place after the pit stops. probably not a bad place to be for this final stint. You know, there's no one who can mess up your race but you. You're just kind of there. All you have to do is bring the car home in one piece. 7th place would not be a bad finish here in this lobby for Benitez. So yeah, just get your hot laps in, take it easy, breathe, and finish this race. Thanatos also racing alone, no one around. SoCane has Bad Guy Cali right behind. These two have been close together for the entire race. Not really sure what the pace difference is between them, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to come back and check on these two to see if they start fighting at some point. SoCane ahead of Bad Guy Cali. Meanwhile, Chompy all alone in the Aston Martin has stayed pretty steadily in 10th and 11th place throughout the race. I think at one point they were in 10th when SoCane fell behind, but as you saw, SoCane is now up to 9th place. Somebody just pitted just now and I missed the name, but I believe that is everyone now having pitted. Everyone has now taken their final pit stop to finish out the race. Rush has a gap to Thunder and Indiano and has had that gap since coming out of the pits. The problem is that gap ain't getting no bigger. It's been 5/10 ever since they came out. Thunder and Indiano are right there now. Rush has fresher tires, but only barely because of their battle with Thunder and Indiano during the beginning, well, during almost the entirety of the second stint, actually. They had to pit, I think, a bit earlier than they intended to. I could be mistaken. I think they pitted the lap after these two, and the first pit stop they pitted 2 laps after them. So pace has definitely been altered a bit here, and yeah, the gap is even smaller now. So are we gonna see a fight, or are y'all just gonna take it in all friendly like this? I want to see this become an all-out free-for-all brawl, but that's just me. I like drama. Let's go back to Diogo. Sorry, to Gooey and SoCane here. Gooey, how you end up here? Weren't you just racing with your buddy Diogo? What happened? Alright, well, SoCane and Bad Guy Cali. Bad Guy's a little bit closer to SoCane, so we might see a little bit of something for a pass here. We need to stay between these two battles. Nothing in a turn 1 for these three. Turn 2 and 3 also safe. Let's see what happens in the hairpin, and we'll go back to SoCane and now. Still safe, keeping it friendly. Bad Guy. Right there with SoCane. These guys coming to the end of their lap. Rush is a little bit further away now. And SoCane out into the grass again. That's exactly how they got into Bad Guy Cali a few laps ago, and that gives Bad Guy the position easily. SoCane is carrying a little too much speed through that corner. It's very tempting. It's a fast corner, but it's tighter than you think, and that's exactly what happens out there. It's just you end up in the grass, and that's that. Well, that's the end of that battle. Bad Guy Cali 1.5 seconds up on them. SoCane may catch up, but it won't be anytime soon. Meanwhile, Rush still just hanging on to the lead here. Thunder has to be wondering, okay, well, at what point does Diano stop being a friend and becomes a foe? We're coming to the end of the race here. Diano and Thunder, so far, I would say for the majority of this race even, have been working together ever since Thunder messed up and lost out on 3rd position and ended up in 5th place, I believe, right behind Diano. Was behind and pushing and giving slipstream to Diano, finally got up front, and then Diano's been returning the favor ever since. But at some point, Deanna's going to decide third place isn't good enough for me and I want second. And I think Thunder's biggest nightmare is that happens before he's ready to make a move on AMS Rush. Let's see. Robert, meanwhile, way back there. It's a 4-second gap now. I think Robert is just going to sit here content, take it easy, not try to push too hard, and get that Jaguar home. Diogo, friendless, teammateless, doesn't have anyone to fight either, so Diogo probably looking, hey, I'll take this 5th place. Just, again, bring the car home safely. That's what they keep saying, right? Bring it home safely. See if I can find our standings while we're looking at everybody here. We got Robert is in 1st place in the standings of this series. Deanna in 2nd place. Rush in 3rd. So this would be a great finish for Rush. They're able to eke out a win here. Because let's see, what's the total points here? Total. Rush has 140 points and Robert has 156. So they're 16 points away. 4th place, Joao Oliveira, who I just realized Joao is gone. And Joao hasn't been in this race at all, so they must have gotten stuck in quali or disconnected in some way. I didn't even notice. Joao was supposed to be in this race and was in the lobby and no longer is. Thanatos in 6th place. Chompy is in 7th place for the championship. 8th place is Billux. Bad Guy Callie's in 9th. Billux isn't in this race. Diogo Typer in 10th. Sokane is in 12th place in the championship. Gooey in 13th. Vittits is in 14th. And I believe that is everyone that is currently in this race. Those are the standings for the entire season so far for these folks. Now, we're still pretty early in the season. This is only round 4. There are 8 rounds in the series. These 3 up front have been very respectful. Sokane is back behind even Chompy now, so I'm not sure what happened, but it seems like Sokane had another issue. And that tire wear is looking incredibly bad on Sokane's car, and I don't see why, unless they just didn't pit at some point. I believe they filled their tank in the 2nd pit stop, but look at everyone else's tire wear, their tires compared to Sokane. They may have forgotten to grab tires, and it would probably be worth jumping into the pits for just a set. Sorry, I have to go back. It's so bad. It looks almost like they changed just the left side tires, which isn't something that's possible in this game. But look at the right-hand side wear. I don't know what happened there. If they just accidentally hit don't change on their last pit, or if they didn't pit at all and are just riding on the same amount of fuel they had in the 2nd stint. I do recall somebody taking a full tank of fuel on the 1st pit stops, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was Sokane just trying to one-stop this race. But that has backfired horribly. Meanwhile, up top, our top 3 still racing bumper to bumper, just back to back. I have no doubt that Deanna's going to try to make a move at some point. I'm very, very interested to see when they do so. They don't seem to have a fuel advantage over anyone, and it doesn't surprise me. I'm guessing you still have to rev the shit out of this Hyundai to keep up with these guys. So I do wonder if maybe what they're waiting on, honestly. Maybe just the right time. We've got 4 laps left, or if they are trying to push Rush and Thunder into a battle and maybe they can take advantage. That's how I'd play it, you know? Though I don't have Deanna's skill. Deanna seems to have a lot of skills given their positioning in the championship, so maybe they feel confident that they'll be able to take these two on even without that. But if I were Deano, I would be pushing Thunder to go challenge Rush, slow yourselves down, and let me get in there for a sneak first place, you know? Just stay close, watch, and wait. Robert, 2.5 seconds is the gap now. I thought Robert had given up and was just looking for fourth, but Robert's pulled out a lot of speed out of somewhere, or maybe these three have just been driving slow, because the gap to them has gone down over a second and a half, close to 2 seconds. Robert has gained on the top three here. Another lap gone, no moves made. 4 laps to go. Gaps grew a little bit there. I think Rush slowed Thunder down, who then slowed Deano down, and it made them spread out a little bit. But they're able to get right back up on each other in the slipstream. Another lap gone. 3 laps to go. Somebody, somewhere, make a move. Looking at the big track map, it doesn't look like anyone else is close enough to battle. This is the battle that we have going on for the end of our race here. Rush in first, leading Thunder and Deano. Rush, of course, started this race in second place behind VSR Robert and fought and clawed up to first place, got first through a pit stop. Claude to stay up there with Thunder, though, or with Rush. Sorry, Claude to stay up there with Robert, rather. I'm talking about Rush here. Got first place in the pit stops, and got third place in the pit stops behind Thunder and Deano, and then was able to fight up to first. Thunder making a move here, comes inside, a little bit of a hip check. Deano looking to see if maybe they can sneak in there too, side by side with Rush, but Rush gets in there. Thunder in first place. Couldn't seem to go back far enough. Rush gonna try to come back in the hairpin here on Thunder, but it's the wrong move, and it gives Deano a chance to get inside for the second to last and the last corner. Deano makes that move into second place behind Thunder now, as they all go into the last turn. Rush, of course, going to have the advantage over both of these drivers in the start-finish straight. So let's see what happens going into turn 1. Little bit of a interesting strat here. This is all dusty and dirty, isn't it? No. Rush way inside, tries to get the diving break done, doesn't work, still in third place. Thunder, hands full with Deano, all three. Ooh, Rush trying to sneak in here, just trying to find space, ends up with a penalty for their troubles. Half-second penalty. Robert right there, like I thought they might be. Robert comes in third place because Rush had to take the penalty. Deano, big dive into the hairpin. Does that stick? That stuck. Deano inside for second to last turn and the last turn. And now it's just going to be a matter of carrying that speed through. Squeezes Thunder into the wall. Bad idea by Thunder to even get over there and be outside. That's Deano home free. Thunder trying to keep Rush out of there. Rush, nope. And Robert's gonna have to settle for 4th. Rush gets 2nd place. Thunder, 3rd place. Robert comes into 4th place. Rush and that Corvette coming through to get that 2nd place win though. But Dino at the last minute, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for their chance, gets 1st place after never getting higher than 2nd at any point in this race. Dino comes in with the win literally in the 3rd to last corner of the race. Thunder leaves the room. And that's it, y'all. So we got Dino in 1st, Rush 2nd, Robert 3rd, Biogo in 4th, Biditis in 5th. That's your top 5. Followed by Gooey, Thanatos, Bad Guy Cali, Chompy, Sokane, and Many Habits. Finally crosses the line, takes the checker flag. And that's a race. Nice battle at the end there. If you guys want to stick around, I'll go grab the replay and we can watch Dino's dive for victory. Let me tell everybody, good race. Tell Dino, good race, good nice move, actually. God damn it, that says night. I be trying to type fast in here and I can't. Alright. Yeah, I think Thunder may be a bit upset at what happened there. But that's fine. Let's get out of here. Let's go check out that replay. Alright, we're gonna have to fast forward a very long time. Hopefully not too long. They are short laps. But we're fast forwarding to the very last lap. Game? Why aren't you giving me my controls so I can control this replay? There we go. I'm gonna do this forever, y'all. Forever and ever and ever. I guess we can go over some highlights, I guess. We can. No, I'm not doing it. I want to go ride my bike. We're just going to go see Dino's moves to win the race, and then I'm letting y'all go. Can I hold this? No, you can't hold it still. Okay. Just realized I've never checked to see if they've updated these controls. It looks like they haven't. Yeah, faster. And lap 37. Okay, other hand. Try the other hand. Hand's tired. We're almost there, y'all. What if I pass it? What if I pass it? I have to do this all over again. I'd be so pissed. Alright, we're on lap 53. Let's watch the whole final lap from Dino's perspective, I think is what I want to see. Why aren't you letting me go down to the driver I want to see? Hold on, y'all. Sorry. It's lap 52, Dino. And let's go way back. Coming into the last turn, Dino's in second place behind Thunder. And if you recall, Dino and Thunder go a little back and forth. I think Dino dove inside of Thunder here. And then, yep, and then Thunder tries to push him into the wall there. Dino comes back outside, back onto the track. Rush all the way inside. I just don't know if that's still within the track limit, so that's going to be interesting. But Rush didn't make that dive stick. Dino makes their inside position stick. They're inside of Thunder, as you can see here, and inside for turn 2 as well. But then Thunder gets the advantage turn 3. Rush picks up his half a second penalty right here, and so isn't really a factor just yet. But Dino doing a brilliant job to stay side by side with Thunder this whole time and hold on. And then over-unders Thunder, who outbraked himself into the hairpin, and that was it. That's all she wrote. Now keeps tight inside for the second to last corner. Thunder still outside, still trying, still out there, but not quite ahead of the Genesis, still outside the Genesis, and then gets squeezed into the wall right here. And I think that's what upset Thunder. And I mean, I feel like, you know, fair play, honestly. Thunder was in a really bad place to be there. You just don't want to be outside of anyone into that corner, because even if they take it perfectly, they may end up running wide, and you're going to end up squeezed against that wall just like that. Robert, unfortunately, I think that also messed Robert up. I didn't even think about it. Robert coming up quickly on both of these, possibly with a better run through the corner, maybe would have been able to make a move at the start finish, but can't, is stopped by Thunder, and Rush gets their third place position back and ends up going around the outside of Thunder for second place behind Dino. But this was the move right here by Dino that really did it for me here. This over-under on Thunder into the final hairpin, the second to last hairpin rather, and keeping a nice defensive line through there. Beautiful. Beautiful race. Beautiful move. Well done, Dino. We're going to watch it one more time, and then we'll go. We'll watch the lap from this camera angle, the broadcast angle. Man, I was begging one of these three to make a move for the last 5 laps. And it wasn't until the very last one that it finally happened. Thunder outbreaks themselves. Dino right there. And what hurts me for Thunder is that it wasn't even that bad. They didn't go that wide. They were able to get the line back under control. But Dino was already there, snuck right in. And boom. Squeeze them for the win, and that's the end of that. Good race for everyone. Thank you everyone for watching. What's up, Grove? Good job, Dino. Can't wait for the next race. Oh, I should have deleted that replay. Taking up on my space. Yes! E28 5 Series. What's up? Anyway, is that the E28? I don't know. I gotta go. Thank you all. See you all next time.